Meanwhile, the Taliban nightmare continues for girls in Afghanistan. According to this report, the Taliban is attempting to force divorced child brides to return to their adult former husbands despite the girls having been granted divorce by the Afghan government. It is titled Divorced Afghan Child Brides Forced to Return to Former Husbands Under Taliban Rule. It cites a BBC report which basically talks about how a child bride won the right to divorce, and now the Taliban say it doesn't count. Basically, the BBC followed the case of one Bibi Nazdana. It has reported that the Taliban is invalidating divorces granted by the Afghan court, forcing divorced child brides to return to their former husbands, their previous marital status, basically. Let's just take a step back here. This is about the future of Afghan girls, the future of an entire generation. Remember what Afghanistan-based Tolo News reported earlier this year? United Nations agencies have said that the restrictions imposed by the Taliban on women and girls will increase the number of child marriages among Afghan girls by 25%. 25%. UN Women, the international organization for migration, and the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan have released a joint two-page brief. And in the brief, the UN agencies have basically highlighted the issues faced by Afghan women and their demands of the international community. As per the two-page brief, the continuation of restrictions by the Taliban on women and girls will impact child marriages by an increase of 25%, increase early childbearing by 45%, increase the risk of maternal mortality by 50%. According to the brief, currently 82% of Afghan women consider their mental health to be bad. It further noted that Afghanistan is the only country in the world that bans girls from studying in schools beyond the 6th class. What is this life? How can women and young girls be subjected to such enormous restrictions at so many levels? It is heartbreaking. It makes me angry. In the year 2021 itself, a UNICEF statement noted how girls are increasingly at risk of child marriage in Afghanistan, noting how the extremely dire economic situation in the country is pushing more families deeper into poverty and forcing them to make desperate choices, like putting children to work and marrying girls off at a young age. You see, just to put this simply, child marriage robs girls of their childhood. It has detrimental impact on their health and economic prospects. It has harmful effects on girls' development, access to education, overall quality of life. As per the UNICEF, girls who marry before 18 are more likely to experience domestic violence and less likely to remain in school. It is often closely linked to early childbearing with an increased risk of complications during pregnancy and childbirth. It also noted that the decision on child marriage is often taken by male family members with the expectation that girls conform to the norm. Giving girls and women in Afghanistan their basic freedoms and rights is the need of the hour. The future of girls, an entire generation, the future of a country, its women, is at stake after all. And the world cannot just simply stand by and watch. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.